Now, the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
The college basketball season has arrived at Michigan State, and on Monday, the MSU men's basketball team officially tipped off a brand new season. Coming off a trip to the Elite Eight and winning the Big Ten by 3 games last year, there is some known and unknown surrounding the Spartans this season. One thing that is known, Tom Izzo is now in his 31st season leading the green and white, and he is excited to get going as the Spartans began the season against Colgate. The high flyer Cohen Carr was making his first official start at the Breslin Center. The floor general, Jeremy Fears Jr., would start things off for the green and white. Fears takes it hard to the hoop for MSU's first 2 points of the season. Then Fears would turn defense into offense. One of his 5 steals leads to 2 of his 14 points. Fears also had 10 assists on the night. One of them led to a 3 by Kurt Tang to help MSU lead 19-13 in the first half. Colgate did keep things close. Brady Cummins connects on the 3 to make this a 3-point game at halftime. MSU would play a little better in the second half. Fears lobs it to his go-to guy, Carr, and it leads to an and one for the junior captain. A little bit later, Fears throws it off the window, and it leads to an electric car jam as the Breslin Center erupts. Michigan State would take down Colgate 80-69. Our Tyler Driesinga was there and has more on this victory.
Tom Izzo hasn't shied away from acknowledging that this team has a lot to learn, and he has a lot to learn about how all the pieces fit together. We saw some of that learning curve in the season-opening win over Colgate, but we also saw glimpses of the toughness the Spartans are always known for, especially down the stretch. MSU pulled down 19 offensive rebounds to Colgate's 3, and they shot 37 free throws to Colgate's 6. But Tom Izzo wasn't pleased with the effort he saw, especially in the first half.
Jeremy is our leader. He's got unbelievable stats. 4 for 10, not great. 6 for 6 in the line. 5 rebounds, 14 points, 10 assists, 1 turnover, 5 steals. Those are unbelievable stats. In the first half, he didn't lead our team to nothing, and he knows it.
For as critical as Izzo was of Fears' first half, he also pointed out how Fears' play in the second changed so much for the entire team.
Jeremy Fears, I said, is a version of Mateen Cleaves. He's not there yet, but he can, when the head goes, the body usually follows, and when the head goes south, the body usually follows. There's a lot of pressure on Jeremy because right now those wings haven't played very well, but I thought Jeremy, at second half, did everything I asked him to do and more.
A lot of people had to own up, especially me. You know, I don't think I brought it first half, such as doing my job as the point guard of, the team. I don't think I brought it. So just he kind of let me know, he let the captains know that we weren't doing our job, which is how it should be.
The Spartans are well aware of how quickly they need to see improvement.
Arkansas will be another great test. I have faith in us. I believe in us for sure. And I feel like defensively we're going to be locked in because we don't have any other choice.
A lot of work to do, and we're going to get our ass embarrassed on Saturday. And maybe that's good. It's good to have that pressure on us.
John Calipari and Arkansas come to East Lansing off a win over Southern University in their season opener. The Razorbacks scored 109 points in that game. Arkansas and Michigan State tip off at 7 p.m. Saturday at the Breslin Center. For now, reporting from East Lansing, I'm Tyler Driesinga.
Thank you, Tyler. Tom Izzo and John Calipari have faced off 5 times before, and all 5 previous meetings have been on a neutral court. So Saturday should be a fun one inside of the Breslin Center. Coming up after the break, we'll sit down with the floor general for the Spartans, Jeremy Fears Jr., to talk about his growth both on and off the court. We'll see you soon.
When you're shopping, do you get cash back with cash?
Nope.
What about when you use a debit card?
Not a chance.
But when you use MSU FCU's Cashback Plus?
Heck yeah.
Get up to 20% cash back on your purchases with Cashback Plus. Dining out? Cash back. Online shopping? Cash back. Home improvement? Cash back. Discover more at msufcu.org/cashbackplus.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Last year, Michigan State point guard Jeremy Fears Jr. spent most of his offseason recovering from a gunshot wound injury he suffered as a true freshman back in 2023. This past offseason was a little more normal for the Joliet, Illinois native, and it even led to him improving his vertical by 5 inches, according to head coach Tom Izzo. Our Desharian McBroom recently sat down with Fears to talk more about his summer of growth and being the leader of this Spartan squad.
While home for the holidays during freshman year of college, Jeremy Fears Jr. was shot in the leg, which led to him having to sit out the remainder of the year. And last season, during his redshirt freshman year, he started back from square one.
It was kind of hard for me, just mentally, physically. I know, obviously, I looked at it as a challenge. This was my first time, that was my first time kind of being injured for real. So just understanding that this is something that I never experienced or been through. So just looked at it as every day was a challenge. So then when I was, able to play and finally back, I was telling myself that I'm back to myself. I'm back to, what I used to be able to do. But my body wasn't quite ready yet. It was good enough to play, but it wasn't how I feel at this moment. Like at this moment, I feel, maybe even faster, better, more athletic than I was last year. Because we struggled too that year. My freshman year was a little, rough. And, I kind of took blame for that, just, me not being able to help the team. I took a lot of accountability and, was down. So I just told myself next year, which was last year, I'm going to come back and try to be the best and do whatever I can to help the team win. And now it's like, now I'm finally had a real off season, able to work out, able to get better, stronger, and mentally be there. So now I just feel like, I'm 110%, a lot better than I did last year.
How have you seen your role kind of change from when you came in initially when you was 18 years old to where you are now?
It's changed a lot. Just, really, I think my experience and my time here, just seeing everything and, the goods, the bads, the ups and downs, and just seeing how I can change and how I can get better and grow as a player and as a person. So just being here, I definitely seen myself grow and change in many ways, and, hopefully I'm keep growing and keep getting better.
And during the offseason, Fears took another major step as he was named one of the captains of this year's team.
I was just shocked, grateful, excited, just being able to be a captain of this, great program, the tradition, the history it has behind it, and just being able to play for, the players that can't play before me, and, the coaches that coached before, coach that was here. So just being able to be a part of something special was great, and, I'm taking this role and loving it.
You went from one great high school basketball program to a great college program. How would you compare being a leader in high school to being a leader at Michigan State, one of the most premier basketball programs in the country?
This is different. Just obviously, I was fortunate to play for 2 great high school programs, Joliet West and then La Lemire. So just being able to play for those 2 great programs taught me a lot. So just being able to be here and help the guys is just something I love to do every day, whether it's practice or drills or scouting, anything that I can to help someone. If I see they're not doing it right, just try to, help them, and, later on down the line, they'll help the next group that comes in.
Over the years, Fears has continuously expressed how much his family has played a role in his life, even when he was sidelined most of his freshman year with his injury.
We know our family, we all we got, memories and stuff like that. So at the same time, we just make sure we support everyone any way that you can, whether it's watching on TV, watching on the stream, watching each other games. And that's just the main goal and main thing. So it's just support is really big in, my career and my family. So just the fact, even when I was going through hard times, not playing, my mom, my dad, brothers still showing up to the games, watching the games, and even though I wasn't playing, so it just a level of comfort.
And his level of comfort grew to new heights as he comforted and supported his brother Jeremiah Fears, who was drafted in the first round of the NBA draft back in June.
Just happy, we got somebody that's in the NBA playing professional ball, and he kind of knows the ups and downs a little bit now. So, it's kind of like I'm the big brother, but now he's able to give me some game on, a level that I'm trying to get to and I'm trying to reach, so he can give me some knowledge, some tips on what he see, how it is, and planning it. And roles kind of reverse. I'm usually used to giving him that knowledge, so now he can give me and help me.
In a perfect world for you guys to both be in the NBA, what do you think that moment would be like, not only for you guys, but for your family in general?
Great. Just doing no shocking, wouldn't know what to expect. Obviously, it's something we dreamed of and one of our goals. So just the fact that it just be, an exciting moment.
How have you seen yourself develop, not only as a player, but as a man, since you joined the Spartan program?
I'll say in every aspect. I think Coach is really big on that, and he helped me and taught me a lot more than I thought. So when you see something or a problem, you kind of address it right then and there. Don't let it linger and hold on. And just teaching me how to be, a better man, better person while I'm not with my parents or my family.
Speaking from a team aspect, last season you guys were picked in the middle of the pack. You guys won the Big Ten, were regular season champs. This season it was kind of the same. How much do you guys not look at that, but also look at it as motivation, as you guys prepare for the season?
I think it's a happy medium of looking at it and kind of seeing what people think of you, which, kind of also at the same time means nothing. But at the same time, you can use it as fuel, use it as fire. It just gives you, maybe some people need extra motivation. So that's just another chip, that you can use and you can look at and look forward to.
What type of legacy do you want to leave on this program when your time here is said and done?
That's a good question. I really don't know. I want to, be known as a winner at Michigan State. I know when people think of Jeremy Fears Jr., they think of winner. So anything that I can try to do to win games is the most important thing, and that's really the only thing that's important for me. I want to be known as a winner. That's it. That's all.
Even when Fears was a freshman, Tom Izzo compared his leadership skills to one of the all-time greats at Michigan State, national champion Mateen Cleaves. Big shoes to fill for Fears, but he is certain he is going to be one of the top leaders this program has ever seen. We need to take another break, and when we come back, we'll head over to Munn Ice Arena to check out Michigan State's top-ranked hockey team as they get ready for a big-time matchup this weekend at home against number 3 Penn State. We'll see you soon.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
Michigan State's hockey team is ranked number 1 in the country for the 3rd week in a row. This weekend, the Spartans welcome number 3 Penn State to Munn Ice Arena, and there will be a number of NHL scouts in attendance to see a number of future NHL players on the ice. One of them is MSU freshman Riker Lee, who sat down with our Tyler Driesenga this week.
If his first goal as a Spartan is any indication, Riker Lee could be a star in the making.
How many times have you watched that one back since?
A few times. I think it's a nice goal. We're just now thinking about getting the next one.
The 19-year-old first-round draft pick of the Nashville Predators has fit right in with the Spartans. But given his background, that shouldn't be much of a surprise.
And at what age did you start to realize that your talent was maybe a little different from that of your brothers or from the other people you were playing with?
Yeah, I think I realized when I was around 12, 13 years old, and I decided it was best for me to move away from home and seek kind of higher competition and better development. So I went to boarding school in Minnesota there, and I guess kind of I've been going since then.
Yes, at 13 years old, Lee left home to attend Shattuck St. Mary's. He spent 4 years at the school, which is known to have one of the best hockey development programs in the country.
And what were the biggest adjustments to moving to a boarding school at that age and all that goes into that?
Yeah, it was tough being away from family so young and moving away from all my friends, but it was pretty easy when I was living in a dorm with all my teammates and such great guys that I have friendships with to this day.
Lee's stick handling abilities set him apart. The first time Adam Nightingale went to watch him play, he nicknamed him the Wizard. But Lee's small size created some challenges and questions as he developed into an elite prospect. Recent growth spurts have put those concerns to bed.
A big thing for me that I think everyone can see is that I grew a lot. I was always a smaller kid, and I've grown now, and now I'm kind of learning how to use my body and figuring out different ways that I can impact the game.
Lee's growth helped him cement his selection as a first-round pick, and he was at the draft in Los Angeles to hear his name called this summer.
The Nashville Predators proudly select Riker Lee of the Madison Capitals. Go Preds.
All right, another college hockey guy on his way to Michigan State.
The NHL draft process, how would you describe what that process is like?
Yeah, it was super fun to go through it. I was just trying to enjoy every bit of it because you only get to go through it once. So being there in Los Angeles with my family and getting to hear my name called was a super special moment for all of us.
Life as a first-round NHL draft pick, has anything changed? Do you feel any more pressure or expectations around you?
No, really, I just think it's different in the sense that I don't have to worry about the draft process anymore. I can just kind of this year play my game and do what I can to help the team, so I think it's been good.
What have conversations with the Predators organization been like in terms of what you've been able to learn from them about kind of that professional approach to hockey?
Yeah, I think development camp was great. I was in Nashville for a whole week there and able to learn from their entire staff and everyone they have there, and now just doing a video with them on a weekly basis has been good, and I've been learning from them and getting me better every day and getting ready for that next step.
For now, that next step is at Michigan State. The back-to-back Big Ten champions are ranked #1 in the country and begin conference play with a huge showdown this weekend against #3 Penn State.
Obviously a huge series to open up Big Ten play. For you as a freshman, how important was it to have already played a big series at Boston and kind of get a feel of what this environment might be like?
Yeah, it was huge. I think going there, that was probably like the loudest rink I've played in, so just getting used to that and that level of talent, I think that's huge going into this weekend and knowing how we need to play.
Riker Lee isn't the only freshman excelling for Michigan State this season. Porter Martone and Caden Lindstrom are also excelling in year one of college hockey. Coming up after the break, we'll sit down with their head coach Adam Nightingale to talk about their early season success.
Welcome back to the MSU Federal Credit Union Coaches Show.
This offseason, the projected first overall pick in next year's NHL draft, Gavin McKenna made his college decision on ESPN SportsCenter, and he chose Penn State over Michigan State. McKenna played with MSU standout freshman Caden Lindstrom on the same Canadian junior team, and the two of them will be some of the top players on the ice this weekend at Munn Ice Arena. We had a chance this week to sit down with MSU head coach Adam Nightingale to talk about where his team is at heading into this Big Ten opener and top 3 matchup. Obviously a big weekend for you, the program. What's sort of the mood right now heading into this week against #3 Penn State?
Yeah, guys are excited. I mean, we're obviously coming off a bye, so they're chomping at the bit to play. And we asked our guys, hey, let's have 2 really good weeks of practice and not worry about the weekend coming up here. We just make sure every day we get better. And I thought our guys have really worked. Worked on some areas. We got to keep getting better, but they're excited to play at home.
You guys are about a month into the season. You've only played not that many home games.
Yeah.
What's the excitement level like, too, to get back in front of the home fans?
Yeah, super excited. I mean, they've been a huge part of our team here the last few years, and just our program in general. You look at how we're followed, and the place will be slammed, and that's what we say to our guys. Right? We're not going to be perfect, but we got to make sure that our fans get our best effort.
What have you liked about the way the team has gotten better over the last month or so?
I think they've matured pretty quick. I think when we got there, obviously we're a young team, but I think they're showing willingness to want to learn and keep growing, right, and play a mature brand of hockey. I think our execution's gotten better. I think we can still improve in that area, and I just love we got a group of guys that are really passionate to be at the rink every day, and that makes it fun as coaches.
Going back to taking down Boston on the road, what did you learn about the group that maybe you didn't expect going into that series, or what is something that maybe was like, oh wow, okay, that's something I expected and it came to life?
I thought we did a lot of good stuff for sure. Like obviously a ton of respect for their program, and to go on the road in a tough building to play. I thought we were really solid the first night. I thought we started well, and what I liked is our ability to respond within the game. I think especially when we got a young group, they tie it up and you can reel a little bit, and there was no panic, and I thought it was a heck of a play to finish it off. One of those moments you'll remember for a long time as a team, and But I like that. I like that side of it, the group, right? There wasn't a panic, and you know, sports, it's not always going to go your way. You got to focus on your next shift, and I thought our guys did that.
How can that game and that series too just give this group who is young a lot of confidence now heading into Big Ten play?
Yeah, no, I think that's, you know, especially going on the road, right? It's not easy to win on the road, and especially playing a quality opponent. And and I think again the way they were able to do it, right? It wasn't, it didn't always go our way. You know, I thought the first game we were pretty in control of the game. I thought the second game, you know, they made a push like good teams do, right, and tie it up. And again, you got to remember those moments. Like no matter what happens, it's always about our next shift.
With Penn State, where have you seen them just? What's impressed you about them over the last year or so? They get momentum at the end of the year, go to the Frozen Four, and then they pick up Gavin McKenna in the offseason.
Yeah,
What's
no,
been
they're
impressive there.
Done a heck of a job, right? I mean, you look at the season they had last year, right, and it would have been easy to fold. I think that speaks to the character of their team, and to you know, start the way they did and then end up at the Frozen Four. I mean, that says a lot about them, and you know, having success, you know, gives you access to some better players, right? And so obviously they've done a great job recruiting, and you know, we got a ton of respect for him. It'll be a really good test.
You obviously were in the running to get Gavin McKenna to come here. What stood out about his game that you guys liked, and what type of player are you guys going to be going up against there? Yeah,
super talented. I really enjoyed getting to know him. I mean, it was a little bit of a different recruiting process where no one knew for sure. Then all of a sudden we got a call. You're on a list of 4 schools, and he did Zooms, and now it's down to 2 schools. And you know, I really like the way we recruit. We were ourselves, you know, and I thought he was a great kid. And at the end of the day, he made a decision. But he's ultra talented. There's a reason he's projected to be where he's going to be, and obviously he's helped their program a ton already. And I think you just got to be aware, you know, that's one thing with, you know, our guys, right, is, you know, you got to know who you're on the ice with, right? And he's definitely a guy that can make something out of nothing. And so, and then, you know, we got to limit opportunities on the power play. I mean, their team's really good on the power play, and if you're going to parade to the box, it's going to be a long weekend.
You obviously have talented freshmen on this team as well. What have you liked about we'll start with Caden. What has impressed you about his ability to come back from adversity the last year or so, battling an injury, and now really excel in college hockey?
Yeah, I mean, I give him a ton of credit. He's a mentally tough kid, right? I mean, I think he was out for about a year and a half to come in, and I thought that BU series he was really good, you know, and I think he's stayed with it. He's got to continue to do that and take care of his body, but you know, he's an explosive player. Like, his speed is really noticeable. He's physically strong. He can shoot the puck, and you know, we've been really happy with him. And I think when you look at the amount of hockey he's missed, he's just going to keep getting better.
Normally, when we see him in their pads, it's hard to tell just how big they are. But when he walked out in like a t-shirt and shorts, he's a big kid. Was he like that when you got him?
Yeah. No, he's a freak athlete for sure. Like, I worry a little bit about the football team trying to steal him as a tight end, but definitely those are some God-given talents he has, right? To have the frame he has, and again, I think he takes really good care of his body, and that's pretty evident when you see him.
Do you have a lot of guys that have like experience with like playing other sports or even like football that could be given their size of this team?
Yeah, no, I think most of our guys have played other sports growing up, you know, and I think Charlie Stramel played football growing up, and you know, I know Riker Lee played soccer, and you know, I think that's really important for, you know, our best players are our best athletes, right? So you really at a young age have an opportunity to develop as an athlete by playing all these other sports, right? So you know, anytime I get a chance to talk about, or people ask about, you know, hockey players and playing, you know, like, I think all sports kind of gotten so specialized now. It's where you know, as many sports as you can expose a kid to, it's just going to help them when whatever one ends up being their passion.
And with Porter, other freshman right now leading the team in points heading into this weekend, his ability to just make plays happen for this group, what's been something that stands out about his game?
Well, he's just a hockey player, you know, and I think that's, you know, he's a very smart player. He's really improved since he's gotten here. You know, I think one of the things that he needed to grow in his game, he had to play with more pace, right? And he definitely has. He's gotten faster. He's put on about 9 pounds of muscle, and his body fat's gone down. He's more explosive. There's still a lot more to go there, but I just think his knack and his feel for the game, right, is, you know, he seems to be able to read the play really well and make the guys around him better. He plays with physicality, and he's a great teammate. You know, I think that's what we've really enjoyed. He's coachable, and you know, it's hard for a kid that's drafted that high. You know, everyone's, you know, talking to you about you, and he always seems to find a way to make it about the team.
After the series this weekend, the next time Penn State and Michigan State will play one another will be in late January, and the game on Saturday, January 31st, will be played outdoors at Beaver Stadium, the home of Penn State football. It'll mark the second straight year MSU has played an outdoor game in the regular season. That'll be it for this week's show. As always, we hope you enjoyed, and we'll catch you next week.
Now, the play of the week, sponsored by Chupan & Sons.
Now Lasienko. Spartans another turnover. Here comes Fears. Off the backboard and score again!
When you're shopping, do you get cash back with cash?
Nope.
What about when you use a debit card?
Not a chance.
But when you use MSU FCU's Cashback Plus?
Heck yeah.
Get up to 20% cash back on your purchases with Cashback Plus. Dining out? Cash back. Online shopping? Cash back. Home improvement? Cash back. Discover more at msufcu.org/cashbackplus.